Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. LeBron James credits icons like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Bueckers for women's college basketball popularity. The women's college basketball game has seen a meteoric rise over the last year, namely this season, thanks to the popularity of many of its top athletes. Caitlin Clark, obviously, deserves a lot of credit for that, but Juju Watkins at USC, Angel Reese at LSU and Paige Bueckers at UConn have also become compelling athletes to root for and get behind. On Monday, Clark and Reese squared off for a spot in the Final Four, resulting in one of the biggest games in women's college basketball history. For the first time maybe ever, the women's college game has seemingly surpassed the men's college game in popularity. LeBron James, always willing and eager to share his opinions, was asked about this after the Lakers went over the Wizards on Wednesday and provided his beliefs about the reasoning behind it. "I think the popularity comes in is the icons they have in the women's game," LeBron said. "You look at Angel Reese, you look at Juju Watkins, you look at Caitlin Clark, you look Paige Bueckers, you look at the young girl that's at Iowa State, the freshman there, Audie Crooks, Brink at Stanford, and that's just to name a few, the freshman that's at Notre Dame. Because they're not allowed to go to the WNBA, you're able to build a real iconic legacy at a program, and that's what we all love about it. That's what makes the Final Four and Elite Eight so great. Iowa was a great team, but Caitlin Clark was the reason we tuned in. Players, depending on who they are, will drive the attention when it comes to viewership." LeBron is absolutely right on this. Obviously, it helps that Clark is one of the greatest players in women's college basketball history and has been chasing record after record this season, but she also has been a familiar face for multiple seasons now. The transfer portal and NIL have been net positives for player empowerment in college basketball, something that can be traced back to LeBron ironically, but they've caused interest to wane. Fans don't relate to programs quite as strongly as they used to. That level of movement has not yet hit the women's game yet, at least to top players. LeBron also discussed another important in that the top players can't declare for the NBA. When Jalen Hood-Schifino has a great year at Indiana University, he declares for the draft and becomes a Laker. When Juju Watkins does that, she returns for a sophomore season. It creates storylines and intrigue and excitement. These things are cyclical and the men's game will eventually bounce back. But it's been a joy to watch women's college basketball this season and during March Madness, with all the credit due to those icons. Michael Cooper shares crazy story of the time Magic Johnson almost quit the Lakers. Magic Johnson led the Lakers to the 1980 NBA championship, becoming the youngest finals MVP in league history as a rookie. Despite this early success, Magic wanted out of LA as a sophomore, with Michael Cooper sharing the story of how Magic nearly quit the team in Houston during the preseason. "They talked about the rift because we won a championship and Paul Westhead came in and wanted to change us into being a half-court team, and everything was focused on Kareem. What they didn't mention was that the year after we won the title, all of that happened in the exhibition season. We were like 6-0 in the exhibition, we were 5-0 and heading to Houston. Our games had been a struggle, we were winning, but we were winning by 1 or 2 points." Cooper elaborated on an incident in the Houston airport where Magic seemed extremely dejected. "I'll never forget this. As we got off the plane in Houston, Hobby Airport, the bus would pull up. Right past the bus, at the baggage claim, there was an aisle out there where traffic was going for people to get around the airport. Magic went and sat in the middle of the medium. Cars are coming by and he's sitting there with his bags and stuff. I asked him if he was all right and he said, 'No, Coop, I can't play this way. This is not us. We don't walk up, we run up.'" Cooper then reveals that Johnson came and sat with some other key players on the team and made it clear to them that he couldn't play the way coach Paul Westhead wanted, requesting a trade from the franchise. The trainer Jack Kern goes over there and coaxes Magic into coming onto the bus. Myself, Worthy, Byron Scott, and Norm Nixon, we always sat in the back of the bus. He comes and sits with us and says, "Man, this isn't us, I'm not happy." What they caught was him going and asking for the trade. It wasn't malicious, Magic wanted to play the way he was supposed to play. If he couldn't play it like that in LA, he wanted to go somewhere else and play. After winning the 1980 championship with Westhead taking over as coach midway through the season, the Lakers looked poised to be a dynasty. But in his second season with the club, Westhead tried implementing a new system of play which slowed the game down to maximize what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could bring to the table as an older center. Magic had to hold his ground, as the Showtime Lakers became popular due to their fast-paced style with a floor coordinator like Magic with the ball. That style went out of use under Coach Westhead, who still had Pat Riley on his staff. Riley built a strong relationship with his players, Magic in particular, and would serve as the link between the coaching staff and the players. Lakers owner Jerry Buss decided to back Magic in this tiff and fired Paul Westhead, which became one of the greatest moves in team history. Riley would take over the franchise as coach, publicly sharing responsibilities with Jerry West, but West made it clear that this was Riley's team. Pat would coach the team to win 4 more championships with Magic and Kareem. Magic Johnson would retire as the single greatest Laker in franchise history, with many believing he still holds that spot. He won 5 titles, 3 Finals MVPs, 3 regular season MVPs, made 12 All-Star teams, 10 All-NBA teams, led the league in assists 4 times, and led the league in steals twice. NBA, a very crazy trade takes Young to the Lakers and ends the Warriors dynasty. The NBA regular season is nearing its end, and the playoffs are knocking the door on the league's most exciting time of the year. But even with the games in full swing, rumors of what could happen this offseason have already started. The latest talk regarding possible signings that the board could make once again involves Hawks point guard Trae Young. The Lakers would pursue the player as part of a trade proposal that would give the team a third star to join LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Referring to his own proposal as crazy, Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report proposes a 4-team trade that would effectively dismantle the core of the Golden State Warriors dynasty, with the move centered on these names: Draymond Green from the Warriors to Atlanta Hawks, Karl Anthony Towns for the Warriors, Austin Reeves, and Chris Paul for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Young would take some of the creative and distribution burden away from LeBron James and also give LA an identity in the looming post-LeBron era, Bailey wrote in the April 2 story. Completing the supporting cast wouldn't be easy, but a Trae AD pick and roll would be potentially electrifying, both with and without LeBron. The Lakers would also receive Josh Minott from Minnesota and Brazil's Guy Santos from the Warriors, while sending Reeves along with D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and the Lakers' 2029 and 2031 first-round picks to the Hawks, and Rui Hachimura to the Warriors. It would be a huge price to pay, but Young is just 25 years old and an all-star who is averaging 26.4 points and 10.8 assists this season while shooting 37.1% from three-point range. Young's ceiling is much higher than any of the players they would be sending, Bailey wrote. Young is on the Lakers' radar as a potential acquisition, according to Jovan Buha of The Athletic. The name I keep hearing is Trae Young. He's been to Lakers playoff games before. He's a Clutch Sports customer, Buha said during a Q&A series with fans in late March, referring to the agency representing both James and Davis. That's probably the most realistic scenario right now. Yes, they are going after a third star. And I can confirm that from multiple sources. They are hunting for a third star this offseason, he said. And we'll see how that affects the D'Angelo Russell situation. We'll see how you're probably going to have to give up Austin Reeves in almost any trade for a third star. Russell has a player option worth $18.7 million, but could test the free agent market. Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype reported on March 27 that Russell would like a multi-year contract with the Lakers. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Trae Young? Leave your opinion in the comments.